it strikes me as relationships, again, in the zeitgeist, while it's over indexing in the frame of loneliness and isolation and negative impact of social media, among other things, diet, the stresses of work, all the messes and stresses of life, is that it can be transactional, and that it's a vehicle to an end, to get something. How do you thread that needle? How do you tell the difference? Because honestly, I'm in sales. I run a business. I have people that I work with, that work for me, that my buyers and clients that I work for. And there is a transaction involved, but I do have friendships as well.
hmm hmm Yeah. So the way I describe that is that you truly have a level of relationship with everyone that you know, and it's okay to have a different level of relationship with everyone you know. That's truly the foundational principle. Is that you absolutely are going to have deeper relationships in all aspects of your life, right? You have friends that you're closer to versus acquaintances. You have people that you work with in the keynote speaking world, right? You have clients that you have a better relationship with than others. It doesn't mean you don't have a relationship with the other ones that maybe you only transact business every 6 months or you only talk to once in a while, but you still have a level of relationship with them, right? And this transpires into the speakers that you work with, right? You are closer to some speakers than others, which is why I try to explain and teach to people. Part of the issue in this relationship building world, when I teach people how to actually build real relationships, is the first thing you have to start with is figuring out what level of relationship you have with everyone that you know.
Yeah.
And you can't have the same level of relationship with everybody. Otherwise, you've got a stagnant status quo life
Yeah.
because you're
And it
treating
might
everyone
take
the
a
same.
it might take a while to figure it out. You might not know right off the bat.
It does. I always tell people this is, I use a simple 5-star ranking system. Everyone understands 5 stars and you know what a 5-star experience is versus a 1-star experience, right? And so I always say, give it your best shot. Now, when I teach and I workshop and I do all these trainings, I teach you my formula of how I separate a 5-star from a 1-star. I always say though, these are your relationships. There's no right or wrong way to do this. But if you don't have some kind of understanding, especially in business, like if we take it in a business direction, if you don't have some kind of understanding of the level of relationship that you have with the various different people in your so-called database, sphere, network, whatever you want to call it, then you don't know how to intentionally invest in those relationships either.